We have acne on this side, and we have Cerave blemish control line of products on this other side. How do they stand against acne? That's what we're going to find out. Now, this is that video. I promised that I'll give out a giveaway, and full disclosure, this is not a sponsored video, so I'll use my own money to give out a giveaway. So just subscribe, it'll make me feel better. And to get this out of the way, this is how you're going to get the products. You see, at this corner here, the corner of this video around this point here, there will be some numbers, raise power, something that will be popping up there. So just do something very simple. Take a pen and a paper, write them down, how they follow each other all along the video until the end of the video. They will be popping up randomly. And then after you write, decode a word which is hidden within those numbers. Once you do that, type in the comment region. I will pin the first one to be correct, and then I will reply down there in that comment how you can be able to get the products. That's out of the way. Acne. Acne is one of the most stubborn conditions that you're going to find out there. There are so many speculations. The actual cause is not known. 81% of the acne cases is genetically related. They're supposed to tell you that you might find that most of those with acne issues, this is running down in families. So it's inheritance. Now, hormones are believed to offer mechanisms through which acne forms. And how do you actually get to have acne? Now, this is what usually happens. You have sebaceous glands. They are very important. This is a structure of the skin. Now, when you shower or when you wash your skin, you can become, like, the skin usually become dry because you strip your skin of the oils. After some time, your skin will resume its initial oily status because you produced sebum, which will come from sebaceous gland, will come to your skin and will make it supple. And this is assuming you don't have dry skin. Now, we're going to get to how you can actually get to know your type of skin later in the video. Now, there is something that will happen, especially when it comes to hormones. And this is one of the reasons why you find that most teenagers will have acne on their skin, especially areas where you have more oil glands, like the shoulders here, on the face. It's quite common. Now, how do you get that? We have hormones that are called androgens. They trigger overproduction of sebum. Now, two things might happen here. Due to overproduction, you have a lot of sebum in the same space. Remember, you have channels leading from the gland out to the surface of the skin through two channels. One can be an independent channel that will come to the surface of the skin, so that will be an independent pore, or it can drain to the shaft, the hair shaft, and then it will go out to the surface of the skin. Now, imagine you overproduce the oil. The channels for letting out the oil, they're still the same size, meaning you're going to accumulate a lot of that oil inside the gland, and this will make it swell. Second thing that will happen or might happen is the clogging of the pores, meaning that you're not draining out the oil that you're producing out. So this means that you're going to accumulate that inside, and this is the reason why it's going to swell. Now, there is one opportunistic bacteria that will be on the skin surface. This oil forms part of the nutrition for that bacteria. The bacteria will get inside there. They're going to be very happy because there is plenty of nutrition there from the oils. The body will not be happy about this arrangement, and it's going to send the soldiers there. So this is the immune response to go and fight off the stranger. Not the stranger because it's actually normal flora, it's on the skin, but then it's not going to be happy because now it's actually intruding. So this will bring inflammation that will make it red. And due to the fight between these two, you're going to have pus. And this is why it's going to produce pus. We have several types of acne, and we've looked at this in a previous video. I'll try to stick something here for you to go to that video if you want to know more about it, or probably you already know about that. Now that we have the baseline, let's go to now Cerave and what actually they are doing to the skin. Now, the most important things that we do have, we have a cleanser. We have, this is a gel, which is Blemish Control Gel, and here we have Resurfacing Retinol Serum. So this will focus on the imperfection that you're going to get after acne, post-acne imperfections. This is what will now deal with the active acne. We're going to see how actually that's happening. Also this is a common cutting ground, and I will tell you how you can apply those two. Now, these two are moisturizers. It's a lotion. They are lotions, but they're different. This has SPF. This one doesn't have. We are going to see also something else where you can be able to tell whether you have a dry or an oily skin. You can tell your skin type. We're going to learn that when you get here. But first of all, let's start with the common cutting ground because this is the first thing. Now we have four things that we have here. Let's focus on what actually makes it a blemish control cleanser. We say this is a common cutting ground, and you're going to see that in the application. Let's start with what does it have. We have the first one, which is ceramides. Across all the products, we have ceramides, and what are they? Now, on your skin, on the structure of the skin, that is the topmost layer. It's made up of several things. One of such is ceramides. That will make actually 50%. We also have free fatty acids that will be there. We also have lipids. They form that part. So ceramides adds to the ceramides that are naturally acting on the skin to help strengthen that. Now, the second thing is hectorite clay. It's actually very common in skincare products. It's a special kind of clay that really absorbs oil, and it's quite good, especially if you have oily skin. Number 3, we have BHA, beta hydroxy acid, and in this one, you have salicylic acid as BHA. We're going to see what that does to the skin, because in this gel, we have both AHA and BHA. We're going to get to know exactly what they do to your skin. Number 4, which is the last that we're going to look at in this product, here we have niacinamide, and this is a type of vitamin B3, does so many things, but we're going to focus on only 2. The first one is it's an antioxidant, and also number 2, it helps in preserving the moisture inside your skin. Now we're going to come to application and how they should follow each other, so don't worry about that. That will be in a few minutes. Now, these two are quite important. We say this will come in handy when you have active acne. This will come in handy after acne has cleared and you have imperfections that usually come as a result of that. You want to resurface the skin. Now, this will be the last thing. So we are going to come to that next. Now, let's go to this one, which is quite important. This is a blemish control gel. We said it has AHA and BHA. Now, let's start with the first one, AHA. AHA, alpha hydroxy acid, several acids that we have here. The first one is, I'm sure at some point you've seen me using lemon on my face and Vaseline. I'm sure you remember that video. If not, then you can scroll back, you'll find it there. I tried using that for a week. Was it a week or a month? I don't remember. I made it's a video. So we have citric acid there, which is an AHA, but it's not actually here, so we don't have citric acid here. That was just an example. So inside here we have lactic acid and glycolic acid. I'm sure you've seen people using sour milk on their skin to help in exfoliation, to even out the skin. Lactic acid, so this is what we have here. Glycolic acid comes from they can be made commercially, but we can have that available in sugarcane. We have pineapples, we have unripe grapes. So we have glycolic acid. What do they do? This is AHA, alpha hydroxy acids. What do they do on the skin? Now they loosen the dead skin cells, and this helps in exfoliation. Now, one thing you have to note, actually two. The first one is they are light in molecular weight, meaning that penetrating your skin is a little bit easier compared to BHA. We're coming to BHA in a few seconds. The second thing is they are water soluble, meaning that they're going to be very effective on the skin surface, but they might not be effective inside the pores where we have remnants of oils from your sebaceous glands. Remember sebum? Now, this is where now we go to BHA. BHA is beta hydroxy acid, and we said when we were talking about cleanser that we have salicylic acid. Now that one also two things. It's a little bit heavier in molecular weight, so this one will be a little bit slower compared to AHAs. But BHA is oil soluble, fat soluble, meaning that, remember you have sebum that might have clogged the pores. It's able to penetrate there and make it less thicker, less viscous, and it can be able to unclog the pores. Still, remember, we're going to come to application in a few seconds. Now, this is resurfacing retinol. Now, you're done with your acne. It's actually now well controlled. You don't have that, but we have imperfections that came as a result of that. We have some pigmentations. Maybe you have open pores that are so large. Retinol does several things to your skin, but we're going to focus on those that will target acne. Now, the first one is it reduces production of sebum. Second, it speeds up the skin natural exfoliation process. Now, remember, you usually shed your skin cells. This is automatic. They usually go out, but it can take a little bit longer, and especially if you're getting old. And this is the reason why you find retinol in so many anti-aging skincare products. It usually speeds up this process. The dead skin cells, they fall off, they are replaced by new ones, and this cycle that goes that direction means that you're going to form new cells, but this is not an overnight thing. It might take a little bit longer for you to actually even see the evening out of the lesions or the blemish that were left as a result of having acne. Now, I have several disclaimers. This is vitamin A. If you're pregnant, you better avoid this. Actually, even in diet, try as much as possible to avoid vitamin A unless instructed by the doctor, because high doses of retinol has been found to affect the baby. The baby might be born with a birth defects because it affects embryology. So differentiation of the cells might be affected and you end up getting a baby who has defects due to retinol. So if you are pregnant, I encourage you to stay away from it, because your liver can give you enough supply, because yes, even for the development you actually need vitamin A, but then you don't need excess of it. Your liver can be able to get enough of that. Try as much as possible to replace that with something like beta carotene. We have several studies referencing on that. I'll provide references in the description box. Also, high doses might give you dry skin, and remember, the reason that we said it can give you dry skin is because it inhibits production of sebum. Sebum will moisturize your skin, so you might end up producing extremely less when you overdo this. And also another thing, excess of retinol might enlarge your liver. So you need to be careful, and this is one of the biggest reasons I usually tell you before you start doing anything. You need to consult your dermatologist so that you get to know exactly what you need for your skin. There is a marketing term used by skincare companies to market their products, non-comedogenic. Now, me being a scientist, there is nothing like that unless you test your product on each and every skin on the surface of the earth. That's the only time I can be able to agree with you whether something is non-comedogenic. So now we are done with this, which are the most important in this package. Let's go to moisturization. Now remember, we said this is just a moisturizer. How do you know your skin type? Quite easy. Take a warm towel, wash your face. What you're doing here is stripping your skin of any oil, whether this is sebum or maybe petroleum gel or whatever you use on your skin. Strip everything. Now sit down for 30 minutes and then observe your skin. If you are oily, it means you have an oily skin. If you are tight, the skin feels tight and it can be ashy, you have a dry skin. And this is a spectrum. Those are two extremes. You can be anywhere in between. And that's where this is coming in. You're going to use a moisturizer if your skin is dry or normal. Now that you know everything that you need to know about the product, let's go to application. Now we said this cleanser is a common cutting ground because it's the first thing you start with. So cleanser, you apply this on your face and you leave it for 1 minute, then you rinse and then you apply this moisturizer. This is an AM. This has SPF in it. This is SPF 30. You'll find others with a SPF 50, and get a habit of reapplying. I'm going to make a video about sunscreen, how they function, how they work in the body, the types, and also we're going to address if actually they are toxic or they are carcinogenic. We're going to go into that in a separate video, so another reason for you to get subscribed, and also give me suggestion of sunscreens that you would want me to go through. So we said this will be in the morning. You don't need to do anything. You just apply this and then you apply this with sunscreen. And remember, like we said, you have to keep reapplying after every 2 hours. That's the recommended. And then in the evening, still a cleanser. You apply this on your skin. And after 1 minute, you wash off everything. And now based on your condition, if you have active acne, you're going to use this one, which is a blemish control gel. You apply this on your skin, you ignore this if you have an active acne break. And from this point here, do you see this one, lotion? This is written PM, you can actually use this one. But if you have an oily skin, you actually don't need this. You only need this too. But if you have normal skin, you need to moisturize it. You have normal skin or dry skin, you need to add a moisturizer. Now let's assume you've cleared your acne. There is no acne. Now that's where we get to now retinol resurfacing serum. Now this two will, now you're going to replace this. Once you're done with this, you just keep this aside. You put this aside. You don't have acne. You want to deal with what was left, the aftermath of acne. You do this. Now by now you understand how they function, how it does to the skin. Now you're going to use this. The same thing. You apply this on your skin for 1 minute and then you rinse and then you apply this. And remember, you don't do this on a daily basis. You can apply this 2 to 3 times in a week. If you have oily skin, you only need this too. If you have dry or normal skin, you need to add this. So these two, you don't do them in the morning. You can do if you want, but then I would prefer in the evening when you're going to bed. Now, would I recommend this to someone with acne? I'm not a dermatologist. So the best thing will be you just see your dermatologist first and then they evaluate the best thing for you. It can be that, for example, they only need to control or to regulate the hormones and your acne will just disappear. It can be maybe just something small that is triggering you to have acne, and they can be able to figure that out once they meet you face to face. Notwithstanding, there are several things I like about this because I've used this in the past. I've seen people use them. The first thing that usually click one of my biggest boxes, a clinical trial that's tested on actual people on different skins. So we have data. As a scientist, I really value that. The second thing is I've been using this for quite a time, and like I said, I've seen people using this, and I also have my anecdotal data. So combining those, I can easily be able to be convinced about what they have. Another thing you have to notice, they have a huge name. And this comes with the fact that they have everything to lose. Once they give a false claim and someone is actually able to prove that this is a false claim, they have everything to lose in the market. So they make sure that whatever they have here is something that's actually working. Another thing is, you see, I have this habit of plugging people things that I actually use, like Vaseline. That's something I've been using for so many years, so anecdotal too. But I have several things to complain about the product. The first one is, yes, in the market, of course, you know, we have fakes in the market. How do I get to tell the original, apart from sending someone to a place where I know they stocks the original? What if something happened to and then they stop stocking the originals? We need to have like a way of verifying whether this is actually an original. Like, I'll give you an example. Oreimo usually put a sticker somewhere where you can scratch, and then you can verify that either in the site, or maybe you can send a text and then you verify whether that actually came from the original manufacturer. I think that's something that they can do. I don't know whether by doing that they're going to increase the prices, which is my second thing. It's quite expensive, and this being a solution or something that people can actually utilize to control acne, which is an issue, which is quite stubborn. How about we make it more affordable for everyone so that they can easily be able to, because it's a solution. If it's a solution, why not be able to provide a solution to as many people as possible? So Cerave, make them cheap so that people will not be interested in my giveaways. By that, I'll be able to keep my money in my pocket. And back to the giveaway. By now, I'm sure you now have your numbers written somewhere. Decode them to a word. And let me give you one of the biggest clue. This one here. Use that. We'll get to know exactly what word we have inside there. And once you get that, type down in the comment region. I will pin it, the correct one, the first one to be correct, and then I will tell you how to get your products, which is quite easy.